Today in Stadia news, we're going to be going over the 4 games being added to the Stadia Pro lineup for the month of June, as well as have an update on the much anticipated ARK Survival Evolved. But first, we're going to be taking a look at 2 titles that have just been confirmed on their way to Stadia. The first title is an award-winning game, one that I highly recommend you check out if you haven't already, and that's Control Ultimate Edition. As I've stated, it's a winner of over 80 awards. It's also a visually stunning game with a mind-bending storyline. It's made by the developers over at Remedy Entertainment, and let me just say that they're fantastic at what they do there. As of right now, the game is set to release summer 2021. We have no other date more specific than that, but we know we can now look forward to it. I always figured it was just a matter of time before this game showed up on Stadia because it has been on multiple other cloud gaming services. The publisher behind the game is 505 Games, and I'm still very hopeful and have my fingers crossed that one day we may see Death Stranding arrive as well. But even if it doesn't, Control itself is a fantastic title to have in your library, and once again, I'd highly recommend it to any of you who haven't played it. Better yet, if you don't know anything about the game, I'd ask you to not even take a look. It's one of those games that's better left experienced without any sort of prior knowledge about what it is. As for the second title confirmed coming to Google Stadia, it's Olympic Games Tokyo 2020, the official video game. The game features 18 sporting events from tennis to football to the 100 meters, basketball and boxing, and much more. You'll be able to unlock and play as some pretty wacky characters in this game, such as a pirate, astronaut, or even a cowboy. And much like before, I do need to mention the publisher behind the game because it's Sega, and it's great to see them continuing to push Stadia. We got Judgment from them not long ago, and it was an absolutely fantastic port, so I'm hoping that this one will be too. But now let's move on to the Stadia Pro lineup for the month of June, and I want to begin with the quick update on ARK Survival Evolved. Sadly, no, it's not one of the 4 games coming this month, but what they did do is update the release schedule to sometime this summer. All we were given was the season, so we don't really have any clue of what exact date we're going to be seeing it. I know this is a title that myself and many within the community have been eagerly awaiting, so I really hope to see it sooner rather than later. But now let's get to the 4 games that are confirmed coming June 1st, and the first is The Legend of Heroes Trials of Cold Steel 3. You'll get to experience an epic JRPG storyline developed across 3 titles and crafted for new and old fans alike. If you're new to the series, this one does actually include an interactive introduction to catch you up to speed with the entire storyline. Because of that very reason, it's actually a great pick for Stadia Pro. Not to mention, this entry into the series is actually rated quite highly by many who play it. So if you're looking for another solid turn-based JRPG to dive into, well, you have one coming via Stadia Pro. The second title of the month is MotoGP 20. If you love racing and love bikes, this game is absolutely for you, and it's a really fantastic game at that. So if you're into the sport, you'll be able to enjoy a full-on managerial career mode that will have you racing with official riders and teams. Or go it alone and join a totally brand new team following your manager's advice. Throughout your career, you'll have plenty to choose from in terms of bike development to improve your bike and improve your chances of winning your next race. Many fans of the series do refer to MotoGP 20 being the best one in the entire series, and I tend to agree with them. I will say that the game can be kinda tough, but once you get used to it, you'll be able to stand toe-to-toe with the AI. But if for some reason you're struggling, you can actually adjust the difficulty quite a lot. Overall, it's a really solid pick for Stadia Pro, and I'm happy to see it arrive. The third game confirmed is a 3D platforming title named Blue Fire. You'll be embarking on an extraordinary adventure through the perished world of Penumbra to explore unique temples filled with challenges, diverse enemies, quests, collectibles, and more. I haven't played this title as of yet, so I don't know too much about it, but I will say that the art style looks fantastic, and it definitely seems like the type of game that's planning to challenge the player. It certainly seems like it took a lot of inspiration from multiple games, both for its combat and its platforming, and I'm pretty excited to see what it's like. If you did play this title already, do let me know your personal thoughts on it down in the comment section below. I'd love to read them. But now it's time to move over to the last game coming to Stadia Pro, and that's Chronos Before the Ashes. You'll get to slash your way through an atmospheric RPG where every time you die, you age an ear of time. An interesting fact about this game is that it was originally a VR-only title. It's a Souls-like action-adventure game with lots of combat and lots of puzzles. It's also worth pointing out that story-wise it's actually a predecessor to Remnant from the Ashes, but I will say that the games are two very different things. So while you will learn a bit more about that entire world, don't go into it expecting the same style of gameplay. It's more of a beginner Souls-like experience. After all, do remember that this was originally a VR title. I haven't played the non-VR version, so I'm pretty excited to see myself how it controls and how it feels compared to what I played previously. Either way, that's all the Stadia news I have for you today. If you enjoyed the video or found it helpful at all, be sure to hit that like button as it really does help the channel out. And if you're wanting more content like this, be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell as well. Today's end of video question is going to be asking you for what Stadia Pro game you're looking forward to most this month. For me, it's going to be Blue Fire. I actually really like what I've seen of the game and I'm surprised I didn't check it out sooner. As always, thank you for watching the video. This has been The Virtual Cloud, giving you the latest and greatest on everything cloud gaming and VR. And until next time, I'll catch you in the clouds.